Hello, I am a student from Bangbei Middle School, and I'm in second grade. And I've been in school for a long time, quite a while, like 8 years. To be honest, I've always blamed my brains for not giving me the grades that I wanted. And soon I realized that it was not my brain to rely on, but it was my studying methods. So today I want to talk about the steps that I took in an attempt to become smarter. I once was taught by a teacher who had favoritism. She was a great teacher who had many valuable lessons, but as one educator, Rita Pearson, has mentioned, kids don't learn from people they don't like. I didn't like my teacher at all. And I was in first grade when I needed more attention than other stages of life. Kids at that age is approaching new styles of life, so they need the help from educators to learn basic things and what to do when facing new situations. Unfortunately, I didn't have that with my first grade teacher. Because teachers I've had prior to first grade always came to me and tried to make the connections before I did, I wasn't used to the whole system of approaching to the teacher first. Needless to say, things that she taught me didn't make a difference in me because the relationship between us seemed too far to see. So because of that, my grades downgraded for a year, and it wasn't pleasing for me to see my grades so low in such a young age. So I decided to make the change myself. So the next year, I had conferences and talked to the teacher continuously, and my grade rose to the level where people were surprised of what I was capable of. Over the courses of 8 years, I realized that my grades and the relationship between the teacher and I work as a direct proportion. My grades measure my ability to act smart, so indirectly I was able to conclude that my smartness and the relationship have a direct proportion relationship. Direct proportion relationship is a mathematical term used when comparing two data. In my case, the x is the relationship and y is the smartness. By improving the x, we can get the y to improve along, which is what we want. The key point of direct proportion is often misused. The key point is that it is continuous. Once we have courage and start off the connection, it will be a highway to the destination. But what is unfortunate is that most people don't have the courage to start off the connection. They think of teachers as an untouchable existence who have nothing on their mind but to teach. But most of the teachers have more than that, and they're willing to do just more than just teach. And so now we know that it is an important factor. How can we become smart? Oh, wait, but before I go on that, let me define why we need to become smart. In the country we're living in, requires people to act smart. By acting smart is when people have the basic knowledge to use in their daily situations. And let's say that a person wants to volunteer in Africa and become a doctor. This person needs to study medical in a good environment, so he needs to get into a good college. The universities claim that they look at volunteer activities and other factors that make them a well-rounded person, but when we look at the reality, it's really unfortunate. The Korean Scholastic Test cut line for entering top universities, such as Seoul University, is really high, and only the 0.3% of the smartest students can enter this university. So this person needs to become intelligent in order to reach his goals. And just like this case, we need to become intelligent in order to break down all the obstacles in the way. So when I was in third grade, I moved to US, and there I've come to realize that the students and the teachers there had much closer relationship than here in Korea. The communication serves as a connection between the two, which provides a better atmosphere for the classroom environment. It acquires enough information for those who are struggling with specific tasks. What I was impressed at was that the students were more open to the teacher. They talked to the teachers as if they were their parents, and because of that, they formed a very strong relationship. And also, those who were the smartest in the class had closest relationship with the teachers. When I was in 6th grade, I moved back to Korea, and I decided to take the things that I examined, modify them a little, and try them out, see if I can make the connections. Doing that in Korea is kind of hard because, in my viewpoint, Korean education requires more memorizing than explaining. So the communication that happens while explaining is not a common case in Korea. But if they could have done it, why couldn't we? So I've tried them out. It was a hitting success. I continuously had conferences with my teacher and formed a very strong bond. For example, my struggle was Korean history. I haven't spent much time on that subject because I was studying global history in US. And so my teacher recommended me to read a book called 한국사 편지, like shown here. And this gave an easy preview to the Korean history background, and it improved my grade. With the help that I needed, I was able to form a very strong bond and become a step closer to becoming smart. As one educator and writer, Naomi Riemann, has mentioned, the most basic and powerful way to connect with other person is by listening. By listening, we make communication happen, and by communicating, we form a strong bond. And this is what I truly believe is the way of becoming smart. Thank you.